Welcome to the exciting world of textual criticism. As you probably know, the Bible was originally handwritten, and every copy was then handwritten, and you can't handwrite something anywhere near as big as a Bible, or even one of the books of the Bible, without little bitty mistakes cropping up. Nothing that affects the major teaching, but little bitty things. Like in 1 John chapter 1, verse 4, it says, "We write this to make our joy complete." And there's a major discrepancy issue with that little tiny verse, actually with one verse, actually with one word, actually with one letter in that entire verse. Because about half of the really good texts say we write this to make our joy complete, and the other half say we write this to make your joy complete. And using all the criteria they've determined to try to figure out what was probably the original text, all the criteria came to a dead heat on that one, and they had to figure out some way to determine what's probably the right one that was the original. And they decided on our for a very interesting reason. Not because of anything to do with any of the texts or the variants. It all came down to John, the man who wrote the book. And they looked at the man John, and as Bruce Metzger, one of the scholars, put it, John's own joy would be incomplete unless his readers shared it. In other words, John couldn't be joyful unless his readers were joyful. And so therefore his joy was so tied up in the joy of those people he was influencing that they determined he would have said our joy complete, because he would have tied his joy to their joy. And I'm thinking, man, what an awesome legacy. If long after you're gone, long after I'm gone, people go, the only way that person could be joyful is if they were also influencing the people around them to be joyful as well. That's a cool challenge, and that's today's Jumpstart. And by the way, starting our summer break now, we'll hopefully be back. I've got to go on vacation. Kim's got surgery. Then I've got to move into a different house coming in July. So hopefully we'll be back with new videos coming in the very 1st of August. Have a great summer.